Hi everyone, it is Thursday and it's time for class. Let's see who we've on today, okay? Hi guys. Hi everyone. Hi Stephen. Hi Emer. Hi Emma Jane. How are you guys? How is everybody doing today? Good? Perfect. Well done. Okay guys, we're just going to give Emer another couple of seconds because she's logging on. You're on silent there, Emma Jane. You need to just press the little microphone on the bottom there if you want to talk to me.
I know.
That's cool. Okay, guys, it's our last class of the term. Oh my God, are you on some holidays? Did you get your holidays from school?
Yeah, I'm on my holidays.
Yes, brilliant.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Is it? Is your birthday tomorrow? Oh, that's brilliant. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephen, for tomorrow. Happy birthday to you. There you go. It's my special embarrassing happy birthday now. Okay, guys, just while we're waiting on Emer, she might join us tomorrow instead. We will go through what you need, okay? Right, so the first things we're going to need are scissors and glue. They're your first two, okay? Then you're going to need a pencil if you have one, but if you don't have a pencil, you can use your markers, okay? So a pencil will be perfect. Markers if you don't have a pencil. Now, if your mums or dads are handy there, if they can help you getting a plate, a small plate, so you can draw around it, that will be amazing. And then you won't need to ask for their help anymore because you're too good at the end of term to ask for help. Yeah, so a nice small plate, one that would fit on a piece of card, okay? Yeah, so even if it's one out of the pack, the smaller ones will do, okay? Brilliant. All right, and then we are going to need 2 pieces of black card. Now, they should be in the zippy part of your packs or your boxes, okay? And we're going to also need your tissue paper, which is loose in the box. It's in the bottom, and there might be another bit that's folded over as well. So it's this nice light stuff, okay? So this nice light feeling paper. So we're going to need 2 pieces of that as well. So you should all have at least 2 different colours in your box. Okay, so green and yellow. I think some of them are purple and white and blue and all that. So today I'm going to use my green and my orange. It's kind of like the Irish flag a little bit. So that's what I'm going to use today. All right, so we're going to need 2 of those. Right, so I'm going to go over what we need again. Right, so we're going to need your scissors, your glue, a pencil, a plate, okay, your 2 pieces of black card, and your 2 different colour tissue paper. Couldn't remember the name of it there for a second. And the last thing we're going to need is a piece of string. So one of your pieces of string is the very, very last thing we're going to need. I'm going to use this lovely yellow one, I think. That's the yellow one. All right. And that's the very, very last thing we're going to need. Now, while you guys are getting the string organized and getting all the stuff out of the boxes, I'm going to show you what we're making today. These are really, really cool. I love these. They're my summer stained glass windows, okay? So this is what they look like. So you can see that they've got my palm trees on it. Here's one of them. Here's another one that has 2 on it. And they look nice, but then when you put them on a window, they look super cool because the sun shines through and makes them look even cooler and even nicer than they do normally. That's one of them. Here is one I did yesterday with just 2 of my palm trees on it. You can kind of see it there. So when we hang it in the window, it looks super, super cool and it really brightens up the place. And here's one I did the other day again with the orange and the green. So they look really, really cool. You don't have to do the palm trees in the middle. You can do a different shape if you want. But I'm going to show you how to do the palm trees just in case you want to learn how to do that. But you can do any shape you want on your stained glass windows. Are we ready to get started? Yes. Okay, brilliant. So the very, very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of your black card. We're going to hold it landscape-wise with your plate, and you're going to pop your plate down onto it like this. Now, your plate can be close to the edge because we want to have some leftover black card for other things, but don't have it hanging off. the edge, okay? Because we don't want it to be hanging over the edge, because we want it to be an actual circle shape, okay? So we're going to do that, and we're going to use your pencil just to draw around your plate to make a perfect circle, okay? So I'm going to do that down here because it's much easier to do it on a table than it is in the air. And the reason I was saying, if you have a
Angela.
Yes, Stephen?
I don't have any plate.
You don't have any plate? What were you waving there earlier at me? Do you have one of your paper plates?
Yeah.
Is that a big one or a small one? Would it fit on the card?
No.
Is it a bit too big?
Yeah.
Is it a bit too big? Okay, that's okay. So you can just draw a circle yourself on the card, and it doesn't have to be perfect if you don't want to, okay? If you want to try and draw a circle, you can. All right?
Okay.
Try and make it nice and big so that it fits on the card. All right? So don't go too small with it, because we need a nice bit of space to make our stained glass on it. All right? Brilliant.
Okay.
You can actually use the edge of that bigger paper plate to make the roundy bit at the top and at the bottom. Okay, if you want to do that. All right, so what we're going to do then is we're going to cut it out. So you can see here I've done the circle in my pencil, and you can see the pencil is easier to see than a marker because it kind of shines silver. Okay, and I'm going to cut that out. All right. Stephen, you only have to do one of yours, and you can cut your two cards out at the same time to make them the same shape if you want, okay? If you don't have a paper plate to draw around, or a normal plate to draw around, that's okay. So I'm cutting this out. I'm just cutting it out of my black card now. I'm cutting it around like that. I'm doing my first one, my very, very first one. So Stephen, you're going to cut two of yours out at the same time. Once you've drawn one, you can hold them together and cut them out. And Emma Jane and myself are going to do it twice. So we're going to make two circles, one on one piece of black card and again on another piece of black card. Okay, so I'm going to move on, and I'm going to do the second one on my second piece of black card. Okay, because we're drawing around something that they're going to be identical. They're going to be like twins. They're going to be exactly the same. Whereas Stephen is drawing his one freehand, which is really hard, but he's brilliant at it, so I'm sure he'll have no problem. That's why if he puts both of his together, he'll have the same shape as well. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. So I've just taken my paper plate, I've drawn around it a second time on my second piece of card, and I am just going to cut that piece out now as well. Okay. And you guys, it's the end of term. Can you believe we have done 12 weeks of term already? The time just has gone really, really, really fast when you're having fun and making stuff, doesn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to cut all the way around. And I'm almost there. All right, so I've done two, and oh look, if you hold it like this, it's like Minnie Mouse ears. Or Mickey Mouse ears, yeah. That's kind of cool. Right, guys, so you're flying it. You both have two done. Well done. That's okay. Now, we've got these extra bits of black paper as well. So we might need these for later, so I'm going to pop them back in the box for now. And I'm going to go back to my first disc. I'm going to call this my first disc, okay? And what we're going to do now is we're going to freehand draw a smaller circle in the middle of this one. Now, I don't want it to be too small because we're basically making a window, okay? So you can kind of see here, this is what I mean, okay? So we're drawing a smaller circle inside the bigger circle. So what we're left with is a lovely black frame all the way around, okay? Brilliant. So we're going to do that freehand, so you can really take your time to make a circle all the way around, and we're going to do that on both of our circles again, okay? And I'm going to use my pencil again because it's nice, it's easier to see. And I suppose if you want kind of a width for the line you're drawing, it's about the same width as my thumb, the top of my thumb, okay? Like that. You can kind of see it there. Okay, so I'm going to do all the way around, kind of making a window. And you guys are so good now at doing things freehand because we've been doing that now for the last 3 weeks that you're going to be flying it. So is something that you learn how to do as you get a little bit older and with loads of practice. So mine is not going to be perfect. It's impossible to draw a perfect circle, I think, without something to draw around or a compass, but it's close. It's close enough. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this. Well done, Imogen. Yeah, exactly. All right. Now, we're not going to cut that out yet. We're going to do the same thing on the other one first. Okay. So we're going to do the smaller circle that we've just drawn here on this one on your second one as well. Okay. So we've drawn a smaller circle on the second one. Okay. So we're going to go all the way around again, making that circle on the inside. And this is going to be our window part for our stained glass that we're going to put on. Now, last year around this time, we did kind of silhouettes, which are similar to this, but we just used one colour paper. And we used one sheet. And they were lovely, but I think the stained glass windows are much cooler. And there's a real knack to them or trick to them. They're a little bit tricky. But once you understand how to make them, they're super colourful and they're really nice in the window. And especially the bathroom, they really cheer the place up. So well done, Imogen, you're flying ahead of me. So I've done mine and both of mine now. So I'll be ready to move on to the next section in a second. Okay, so what we did, just to recap so far, is we took our black card, we took a plate, we popped the plate down on the black card and we drew around it. And we did that on both pieces of our black card. Then we cut out our big circles out of our black card. So we ended up with two, like Mickey Mouse ears or Minnie Mouse ears. And then we drew two smaller circles with our pencils on the inside like this. All right. How are you getting on, Stephen?
I don't have a pencil. And if I use marker?
You can. Yeah, absolutely. If you use a kind of a bright colour marker, let me see with this one. The bright colour markers kind of come out. They're not as bright as the pencil you see here. Look, they're not as bright as the pencil. But
I tried to put my yellow and my pink, but both of them faded away.
Yeah, they fade very quickly. That's what I was saying about the pencil is probably the best one. They do fade quickly. So if you do, if you try to just draw it and go over it a few times, it'll come out all right. Look, this is my red one. You see my red one here? So I've gone over the line a few times. So you'll see it. You just have to go back over it, okay? All right. So take your time with that. Don't worry. We'll go around. We'll go back and we'll do another section again in a second, okay? So Imogen, you can carry on and we'll go back and we'll do this a second time. And then Stephen will have caught up with us by then, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the smaller circle now that we've drawn one. And what we're going to do is we're going to do that trick where we're going to make a little slit, okay? Now, we're not going to do it right in the center because we want the middle of it to be big enough to do a drawing on for the middle of our stained glass window. So we need the middle part for our whatever design you want to do. But in my case, it's my palm trees. So when I fold it over a little bit, I'm not going to fold it with a line in the middle. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to take a little snip on the actual line that we drew. So right down the bottom, all right? A little snip down there along the line, okay? So you can kind of see it now. There's my little slit here. And I'm going to stick my scissors in here and cut along the line that we just drew. So we end up cutting out a smaller black circle about this size out of the middle, okay? So that's a little bit tricky, but we're going to keep going. All right, how are you getting on, Stephen? Are you getting on okay with the drawing of the circle? A little bit better. So we're going to just cut it out really as neatly as we can. And these ones are going to take time. So when you're when the class time is over, you guys might want to continue finishing them off because these ones are a little bit tricky and you'd like to be neat. I know you guys like to be neat, so you can take your time with them, okay? So actually when you cut this smaller circle out, it looks like maybe an earring or a bracelet. Or when we have two of them, they'll be like Harry Potter glasses. Really, really giant Harry Potter glasses. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing with both of them again. All right, so you're going to do the same thing with the second one. So I'm going to fold it over a little bit and not a harsh fold or hard fold. I'm just going to do a nice gentle one like this. Okay, I'm going to find my line that I drew, and with my scissors I'm going to do a little snip, so when I open it back up it's big enough of a hole to get my scissors into, just to cut around in a circle with my scissors. All right, so I'm going to do that now with my second one. Yes, Emma Jane?
Two pet guinea pigs, and one is mine, and I named it Hermione from Harry Potter.
Oh, did you? Oh, she's my favourite character. I do like Hermione quite a bit. Do you know, when I read the books, and this is really embarrassing to admit, right? When I read the books, it was before the movies came out, and I'd never seen the name Hermione written down before, so I think I was calling her Hermione for about 5 years. I don't know why, I just couldn't pronounce her name. It's a hard name to pronounce when you see it written down. So yeah, there you go now. Can't believe I admitted that in front of everybody on the internet. Okay, look, I've got my two cut out so I could do my Harry Potter glasses. They're a tad big for my face, but I think they look cool. Or you could have them as earrings or bracelets or steering wheel. That's also what it kind of looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to recap there while we're waiting for people to catch up. Okay, so what we've done so far is we took our black card. Well done, Stephen. Have you got your two done or just one? Amazing, you got your two done. Perfect, you're making your Harry Potter glasses as well. Snap. So what we did was we drew around our plates. We did it once and we came up with a big circle shape, this size. Then we drew a smaller one inside that and we folded it over and cut it out. So we end up with two of these discs here, like Mickey Mouse ears, smaller Mickey Mouse ears. And we end up with two of these other discs that look like Harry Potter glasses. Okay, so we've got 4 of those. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to take one of these discs and we're going to draw our design or our pattern. Okay, so now, as I said a while ago, you guys can do whatever you want on it. Maybe you might want to do a volcano or a tree or a boat or a love heart or a turtle, or you learned how to draw crabs last week, so you might want to draw one of those. You could draw whatever you want in it. Just make sure that it isn't too big and not too small, okay? If you're going to do the trees like me, I'm going to show you how to do the palm trees, which are super simple, but they look really good. I chose doing the palm trees because it's the first week of summer holidays, woohoo, from school. And when I see a palm tree, it reminds me about being on the beach in Spain or Portugal or a nice hot country. So I'll teach you how to do the palm trees if you like. And the trick for the design is, if you have it coming from the bottom, maybe draw a hill underneath it, just something for it to stick on to the bottom of it with, okay? So I'm just going to show you how to do the palm trees real quick. So I'm going to take my marker. I'm going to show you on this pink paper so you can see a bit better. And I'm going to pop it up here. So I'm going to do a little hill at the bottom, okay, which is like a squashed rainbow shape or a sad face. Okay, that's going to be my hill. All right, and then I'm going to draw the trunk of my tree. Now you guys know how to do a tree trunk. You've been doing them all year for all the different seasons. So that's my tree trunk. Okay, so that's one of them. And for the leaves, these are so super simple. You're never going to believe it when you see it. And it's really, really effective. Well done, Imogen. And I'm going to go out and back in and out and back in. Okay, twice. That's so simple. Because palm trees, when they're growing, they grow like this. And it comes up the center and it goes, and it splits in two. And then the next two come up the middle and split in two. And then the next two come up the middle and split in two. And so you end up with a shape like this. So all I did was draw my tree trunk. So I went out and came back in. Out and came back in, out and came back in, out and came back in. Now, if you want to do more than one tree, you can absolutely do them. And they can kind of grow this way or that way, floppy. So I might do another one with the same kind of leaves out the side like that over here. And I might do a different one over the other side. So I might do 2 or 3, you might do 2 or 3 different maybe 2 small and 1 big in the middle, that kind of thing. Okay, you can do as many as you want as long as it fits on your black disc. Are you okay? So now I'm going to go over and I'm going to draw mine. And I'm going to do 2, I think. I did 2 yesterday as well, and I really liked the 2. So I'm going to do a hill, and I'm going to do 2 palm trees, 1 on either side of the hill. And actually, somebody said yesterday it looked like a love heart kind of shape at the bottom, so that was nice. So they're the trees that I've done. So I've just done 2. You can see that there. They're next to each other. And when you have drawn your pattern or your design, you can cut it out. Now, when you're cutting it out, we're going to leave the hill attached. Okay, so when you cut it out, you're going to cut all of this as one piece. So everything you've drawn is going to be one piece. All right, so I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to start cutting out my tree. So you can see here now, I've cut out my hill and my tree as one piece here. Okay, that's what I've done. So I'm going to be super neat about it, take my time when I'm cutting it. But if you do by accident cut anything off, you can always sellotape it on. No one will notice. Because you can put the sellotape on the back and no one will see it, okay? So if we go all the way around, and you can kind of see it now. Okay, so you can kind of see one tree on this side. And I'm still working on it. I'm going to go down the center now and cut out the other one. Okay, so I'm going to keep going around here now like this and like that. Okay, so I've cut out the rough bits first. I've cut out kind of a V in the middle to make it easier for myself. Okay, and I'm just going to try and get my scissors in here and be as neat as I can. You guys are much neater than me, I think, with the cutting, because I kind of go too fast. But you guys take your time and it looks lovely. All right, so I've managed to cut one tree out. And I'm going to keep going. Well done, Imogen. You're flying it. That's great. So I'm going to keep going now like this. Okay. So with the pieces that we have so far is we have now 1 disc of black paper left. And we have the design or the pattern that we're cutting out now. And we have 2 of those steering wheel shape kind of discs in our black paper. And we'll move on to the stained glass in a second. Okay. Now the stained glass, guys, is really tricky. And kind of messy, but you guys are well able for it. So when we're doing the stained glass bits, so pay attention and be as creative as you want to be, but be patient with yourselves, okay? Because it isn't easy to do, so don't be getting angry with yourself, all right? So I'm going to go all the way around my last section of tree, and then I'll show you how to do the stained glass window section, okay? So this is the lovely design that I've ended up with, my double tree. You can kind of see it here, I suppose, if I put my pink paper behind. So this is the tree that I'm left with, my shape. Okay, thank you, Emma Jane. She likes it. And that is going to be my design on my my lovely stained glass window, which I'm very excited about. Okay. Right, how are you guys getting on? Emma Jane, have you got your pattern cut out? You have? Brilliant. Stephen, how are you getting on? Are you getting on okay? Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Wow. Really well done. Good boy. Well done. That's really good. Perfect. So you're almost there. Well done. Brilliant. Okay. So when we're finished cutting out our little pieces, we are going to move on to our stained glass parts. Okay. Now, Emma Jane's making funny faces in the camera. I like this as well. Oh, I'm not going to do that one. I'll get into trouble on the internet. So I've got my lovely piece ready, and I also have my lovely disc ready over here. My discs ready to go. Now I'm going to move on to my tissue paper. Okay, I've got 2 pieces of tissue paper, and you can see that I've already been cutting away at mine, but that's okay. They're big pieces of tissue paper, so I'm going to hold them together like this. I'm going to put the 2 of them together. Okay, one on top of the other. Like when we fold the paper over, when we want to cut 2 of something out, this is exactly the same kind of thing. We're just going to hold the 2 of them together and cut out 2 at a time. All right. Now, what I need you to do is I need you to cut out squares and I suppose strips like this. You can kind of see at the back. All right. Now, the trick here is not to cut out tiny, teeny squares, because you'll be here all day and night. So you need to cut out nice big squares and medium-sized squares, okay? So I'm going to cut mine out here. And I'm going to cut maybe 10 of these out. So I want 20 pieces in total. And look, that's the size of mine, okay? And they don't have to be neat because you're not going to see the edges of any of these, all right? So you could do strips, you could do big rectangles, you could do tiny squares, but I wouldn't advise it because they'll take an age to stick on. So here's my kind of strip shape, my rectangle. I'm going to cut out a nice big square now next. Yes, Emma Jane?
Do we cut out the whole piece of paper?
No, you don't have to. You won't need to. Maybe about 10 squares, it would be enough, Emma Jane, okay? And then you'll have loads left over. And you'll have some card left over and paper left over in your box from the end of term. Because it's the end of term, so you can use the tissue paper for whatever you want that's left over. And that goes with everything else that's left over in the boxes. Because today is the last class of term of the school year. And I won't see any of you until September. Oh my God. The year has flown. It's gone so quick. And everyone's gotten so good at their art in that time. So I'm cutting away here now. And I'm going to have about...
I'm really amazing at art. I do art every single day.
You do art every single day. Me too. And practice really does make perfect, doesn't it, Emma Jane? You get really good at stuff when you practice all the time. So I've cut... I think 8 now. I'm going to count my little squares. I lost track there. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to do 4 more of these kind of double squares because you need about maybe 18 or 20 to start with, okay? You need more later. You can go back and do more, okay? So we'll just start off with about 18 or 20 of these, okay? So that means 10 or 9 square cuts, okay? So mine are falling apart here. I have to hold them together. So mine are kind of all medium sized or a little bit bigger than that. And I've done a couple of strips as well, like this. Just to change it up a little bit so it's not all the same shape. But you can do all the same size and the same shapes as well. Okay, I'm going to do my last one there now. And we will be done and ready to start sticking them on then. Okay, right. So I have loads of different shapes. I've got like these small strips. I've got medium rectangles. I've got big rectangles. I've got squares. I've got lots and lots of shapes here cut out. And I'm ready now to start sticking them on to make my stained glass. All right. So how are you guys getting on with the cutting? Good. Emma Jane, they're going to be lovely colours. The white and purple are really nice together. And what about you, Stephen? What colour are yours? Super cool. You okay?
White and orange.
White and orange. Oh, really nice. I like the white as well. And I can't find it. I think I might have sent out all of my white to other people. They're going to be really, really nice. Really summery colours too, aren't they? Fab. Fantastic. So how many have you guys got out at the moment? Emma Jane, how many do you think you have?
I counted and I have 8.
Are they 8 like this or 8 together? 8 together, is it? Yeah, that's cool. So that's 16. You have loads to get started with. And what about you, Stephen? Are you counting yours?
I've only got 6.
Together, is it? So that's 12. That's lots. That's lots. So we can get started and we can cut more out in a second. All right?
No, just 6.
You just have 6 so far. That's okay. We'll get started and you can cut more as you need them. All right? Okay. So what we're going to do now, this is really important to watch closely, okay? We're going to take your disc, your driving steering wheel shape, and we're going to put glue on this. Now I'm going to show you. We're going to put glue on a little section and we're going to stick on one of your window pieces. Now, when you stick it on, try to stick it on so most of it comes into the middle of the circle, not the other way, okay? So when you stick it on, you can see the way I've hardly any up here and a lot down here under the black. That means I will have less work to do in a minute. Now, The other thing is, with tissue paper, when it gets wet, it goes bleh and falls apart or rips, okay? So we're going to be super gentle. Only put the glue at the moment. You can put a lot of glue on the black part, okay? And try to only put a small bit of glue when you're putting the next one on our tissue, all right? Now, I know there's going to be bits sticking out the top and at the side, but we can tidy that up later, so we won't worry about that. So this is my first one. I've put a lot of glue on my black part and glued it on. Now, when I'm adding the second one, brilliant, Emma Jane, that's perfect. I'm going to put loads of glue on the black again and a little bit on my tissue. So we're going to kind of stick them over each other a little bit like this, so there's no gaps. All right, so I'll show you what I mean. And I'm going to do my other colour, my second colour, next, all right? Now, when we're putting the glue on the tissue paper, don't do this back and forth because it'll rip and then you'll have to start all over again. We're going to be super, super gentle. And it's actually the opposite of what I tell you every other week, being mean with the glue on the tissue paper. I know for the last months and months and months, the whole last 9 months, I've been telling you use loads and loads of glue. Today, on our very last day, I'm telling you to be a little bit mean with the glue when you're putting it on the tissue paper. So you can see mine there closely. So I put loads of glue on my black part and a little bit of glue on my tissue paper, okay? And we're just going to keep moving around in a circle all the way around. We'll do this part first all the way around and then we'll start working our way in a circle, okay? So we'll do the black circle part first and then we'll do the tissue paper circle, okay? So we can go all the way around and keep going with our tissue paper. And if you run out of tissue paper, if you need to cut more, like I'm pretty sure Stephen will have to cut more, that's totally fine. You can stop and cut more tissue paper and then continue on, okay? So I have 3 of mine on now. You can see they're different sizes and they're sticking out the sides, but I don't mind. I'll cut all that later and I'll trim it off and make it neat and lovely, okay? So I'm going to keep going. So I've done orange, green, orange. I'm going to do another green one. Fantastic. Okay. And I'm going to keep going all the way around my black circle. Okay. Like that. Well done, guys. You're flying it already. Okay. So you keep going and you keep going all the way around the circle. And if you need to cut more paper, do that as well. Okay. I might need to do more myself. And you're going to do the whole way around the whole way around the circle. Okay, so that's mine so far like this. And you can see they're all different sizes.
Angela?
Yes, Stephen, are you okay?
I just keep ripping.
Yeah, you need to be really, really gentle. Like just put a little dab on it like this, okay? So you're going to put loads of glue on the black part, okay? And then a tiny bit like this. I'm barely touching it with the glue, okay? So this is really, really difficult. That's why we left it to today, the last day of term. So you're going to be just super mean like this. Look, with the paper, literally just touching it like this. Be super gentle, all right? Yeah, and if it rips, you can always fix it with more paper. So don't worry, Stephen, okay? And you can really take your time with this. Okay, so we're going to be super, super gentle sticking it on. All right. If you need to as well, you might need a bit of help with this from a mom or dad, because they might be a little bit more gentle with it or know what I mean by really gentle. So that might help. But just, it takes a lot of practice, Stephen. So don't be angry with yourself. Okay, just, yeah, be nice to yourself because you're doing a great job. Yes, Emma Jane.
I did mine all on my own and I'm actually finished.
My goodness. So you're ready to do the second layer now. And this is the hardest one because you're only sticking it onto other tissue. So you need to be super, super gentle. And I always say, when you're being super gentle, it's like giving someone a kiss. Okay, so it's like, rather than, not a big heavy kiss, okay? So you're okay, Stephen, take your time. There's no rush at all, okay? So you can be really gentle. Another trick is if you hold the paper while you're putting the glue on, if you hold the tissue paper, it makes it a little bit easier to stick on, okay? And if you really are really stuck, you can take one big bit of tissue paper and just stick that on instead in one color, and it will be as cool. Okay, so if you don't be giving yourself a hard time. All right, there's no rush at all. Okay, so if you get fed up and you don't want to do different colors, you think it might be a little bit easier and still as nice to do one big color, that's absolutely totally fine because it's your design. Okay, so this is me now, and Emma Jane is ahead of me. And I'm taking my time. I'm being really, really gentle. And so I've gone all the way around. Now I'm going to start sticking on the inside to each other. Now this is the really, really, really difficult part because now it rips. And if it's any consolation, guys, I've been doing this a really long time and I still rip the tissue paper sometimes because it's so delicate, okay? So sometimes I think I'm being super gentle and I end up ripping it because glue makes things wet, okay? All right, so that's one, and I'm going to keep going. Now, oops, I've just ripped one of mine. Just after talking about ripping it, and I've just ripped it. And I'm just going to stick another bit of tissue paper over it and pretend that didn't happen. All right, so I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep sticking stuff on. So I've just ripped mine as well. So it's really difficult. Look, I've just made a rip in mine as well, okay? So it's really hard. Now, if you want, you can just start again. You can take off the paper you've stuck on and you could just stick on one colour on the disc. All right, so you can stick on one colour on the disc. Don't worry if you find this difficult, guys. This is hard, okay? So just take your time and be patient with yourselves, all right? Because you're really good at it. You're flying it. And it's really hard not to rip this, okay? I've ripped mine twice. And I've been doing it a long time. So I'm going to stick it on here now again. Okay. So if you rip it, you can stick another bit over and cover up the hole. All right. That's what I did. Well done. Is all of yours done now, Emma Jane? Fantastic. Well done. Okay. So take your time now a second. And you can wait for myself and Stephen a little bit longer. All right. I'm almost there with mine as well. All right. So now we're going to really, really take our time with this. If we run out of time in class, we can watch the video back, or you can finish it off after class in your own time and get a bit of help if you want. It's absolutely fine. There's no hurry at all, okay? And it's not as if we don't have loads of time now that we're on summer holidays. Yay! Are you going anywhere nice? Are you going anywhere nice on holidays, Emma Jane? Are you going anywhere at all?
I'm going to a B&B called Doolin, I think.
Oh, cool.
So I think 4th or 5th best for a while. I can't remember which country though. And it's right beside the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, wow. So you're going to go to a beach place?
Yeah.
That sounds cool. And Stephen, are you going anywhere on holidays?
B&B, and I have to pee on their heads and I have to share a house with them. A B&P?
A B&P?
Yes.
That sounds like great fun.
You pee on the beach.
Oh, you can pee on the beach? Let me know what beach you're going to. I'll just make sure I'm not going to the same one. What about you, Stephen? Are you going anywhere on holidays, do you think? Do you know?
I'm going to Galway.
I used to live in Galway. It's so cool. Oh my goodness. You'll have a great time. I'm going on the Shannon. I'm going on a boat on the Shannon on Saturday. So I'm going for a week. I can't wait. I'm really excited. Now, what you can do next, Emma Jane, when you're finished, is you can glue the other disc onto the back like this. Okay? So when you look on both sides, it has the black on the outside like that. Okay? And then we can trim off the edges. All right? So we're going to put all the glue on the black disc and none of it on the paper. Okay? Because we don't want it to rip after all of our hard work. All right? So that's the next step that we have. All right. Well done, everyone. This is the trickiest one of the whole term. So don't be getting angry with yourselves. It's hard. All right. Okay. So there we go. There's my one. All right. Now, so when you stick it together, it's a little bit tougher, I suppose, And you could just take your scissors and you can trim off all the bits that are hanging off the edge. And that's what I'm going to do next there now, all right? If I can find my scissors. Well done, Emma Jane. That's brilliant. Well done. So I'm going to keep just being really gentle, and I'm going to just trim it around the edges like this, okay? All right, so I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to be super neat. So you can see it's all coming apart in these little sections off it, and I'm just being neat about it and taking the little trimmings off, okay? All right, so we can take our time with that. And I mean, if you like the trimmings at the edge, you can leave them on, I suppose. I mean, it's your design. But I like things to be super neat with nothing hanging out the sides. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just trimming around the edges. So it really looks like a window frame now. And the edges are a little bit neater. And I'm going to keep going all the way around the edges. Now, for in a second, when you're hanging it up, I would just advise you to get your moms or dads to help you making a hole in it when your glue is dry, to put in your string at the top. And I'll show you what I mean. Just to make a hole in the top like that for your string, okay? It's hard because there's 2 layers of card and there's a lot of layers of paper in there. So it might be a little bit difficult for you guys to do. Also, put your parents to work. They have nothing better to do than help you guys with your art. Okay? All right, so you can ask them for a little bit of help with the making the hole to hang it up. And these look really, really, really nice in kitchen windows, bathroom windows, even in the living room or on porches with the sun coming through, especially if it rains. I know it's not supposed to rain on summer holidays, but we do live in Ireland and it rains a lot. So when it rains and it's a rainy day, the sun will still come through and cheer you guys up. All right. So when it rains, you've got lovely, lovely, lovely bright stained glass windows. Now, the very last thing that you need to do now, Emma Jane, is we're going to stick on that lovely shape that you cut out earlier. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that I'm putting the glue on the side that I have my pencil marks on. And I'm going to just pop it on to my stained glass. Now, don't put any of the glue on your lovely stained glass work because it'll rip it. We're going to put all the glue on the back of your lovely design. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do that first now. All the way around, loads and loads of glue. We can go back to our old rule about loads of glue. Loads of glue. You can see all of mine shining there. And I'm going to actually cover up the bit I ripped with this so no one will ever know. Okay, that's what I'm doing with mine. Okay. And if you get a bit of glue on the black card, it dries clear, or you could pick it off, so don't worry about that. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to be really careful with mine. And that is my one done. Okay. How are you getting on, Stephen? Are you sticking on the glass? Oh, you're on mute again, sorry.
Yes, I am.
Perfect. That's fantastic. And do you know what to do after that?
Yeah.
You're going to stick on the other ring at the back and stick on your lovely shape on the front, and then you're done. Okay? So you'll be flying it. All right. Now, so what I'm going to do there now to give you another couple of seconds to just get another bit of work done is I'm going to make the hole in the top. I'm going to show your mums and dads what to do so you know what to tell them to do. I'm going to just make a hole at the very top, okay? Make sure it's in the middle so it doesn't go through your tissue paper, all that work you've done. And I'm just making a hole with the scissors like this, okay? Now, this is really, really, really easy for an adult to do, but not so much for someone with smaller hands, okay? So I'm going to get my string, pop it through the hole that I've just made, put it through a little bit. It depends on how big your window is as well that you want to hang it on, okay? And I'm just going to tie a knot and trim it off like that, and then it will be absolutely finished. And I can't wait to see what this one looks like with the sun behind it. Fantastic. Well done, Emma Jane. That's gorgeous. So this is my one finished now, and you can see the lovely green and the lovely orange window, stained glass window. And this is what it's going to be like with beautiful sunny days that we're going to have for the rest of the summer, hopefully, on your holidays. Emma Jane's cheering in the background. Well done, guys. So can I see yours, Emma Jane? I'm just going to make you a little bit bigger and you can show me what you've done. Well done. That's gorgeous. Fantastic. Brilliant. And even though there might even be a little bit of a hole in it, you can always patch it up with another bit of paper or a bit of sellotape, or, well, actually paper would probably be your best bet. You have loads of paper left. Loads of it, don't you? Well done. And how are you getting on, Stephen? Can I see yours? You're flying it, I know you are. Once you get the hang of it. Almost done. Well done. I'm so proud of you. That's great. It's brilliant. So it is hard when you're trying to stick the tissue paper onto each other, because it does rip, and it's really annoying and frustrating when it rips and gets wet and stuff. But when you get the hang of it and just kind of go with the glue, tiny bit of glue, it really sticks on, and then you end up with a beautiful piece of art like this. Yes, Emma Jane?
I'm actually just getting ready to use all of my spare stuff to do more.
Oh my God, yes. And you can use all of the card, all of the paper, all of the markers, all of the glue, all of the paint, all of that stuff. All right. And if your mums and dads need more supplies in the summer, they can get on to me and I can send out more things. All right. If you run out of stuff. All right. So I'll be sending all of them in email during the week anyway. Okay. So I'm going to leave you, finish off your stuff, make more things, and have a brilliant summer. And I will hopefully see you all in September. Bye, Stephen. Bye, Emma Jane. Bye, everybody. Thanks for a lovely term. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.